Hey folks, welcome to another numeracy video. In this video, we're going to be looking at ordinary to standard form, particularly with the negative power. So without further ado, let's get started. So in this example, we're looking at 0.0045. Now, if you've been keeping up with this playlist, you know the video in this previous video in this playlist, we were looking at positive power. So clearly we're going to be looking at negative power. If you don't understand this video, you might want to go check that previous one out. All right, so what are we going to do? What we need to do is this particular number, it's a very tiny decimal, and we want to write it so that we don't have to write like a whole bunch of zeros all the time. So what we're going to do is we want to actually write this in standard form. So we're going to have to write this number as, what is it? We got 00045. So we're going to write this as 4.5 times 10 to the power of something. Now, here's the thing. We know that if the number is, if that question mark is a positive number, then we're going to get a very large number. But in this case, we've got a very small number, and that's because that question mark is actually going to be a negative value. So we need to figure out what that negative value is. Now, before we do that, the first thing we want to do is we want to write 0045 as a fraction. Now, you might have actually got a few little tricks about this, but one of the tricks that I love using is literally counting how many spots the decimal point has actually moved. So here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I can write this as 45 over 100,000. Now, to figure out what that little question mark is, we're pretty much going to do exactly what we did in the previous video, except we're going to go towards the right side. So if you think about it, the decimal point is actually moving 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're going to end up with is 4.5 times 10 to the power of, now you might be thinking it's actually 4. But here's the thing. We know that if that power is a positive power, it's going to be a huge number. But in fact, the title of the video kind of gives it out, but it's actually negative 4. All right, 4.5 times 10 to the power of negative 4. Now let's actually try this out in the calculator. So we're going to go 4.5 times 10 to the power of negative 4. Now when we do this, of course, this calculator is going to give it to you as a fraction. Just click on Shift equals, and it's going to give you the number in decimals. So that as you can see, you can get 0.0045. So if we look at question A, why don't you guys have a go with it? Usually it's like, this is the part you kind of pause the video and try the question by yourself. Hopefully you did. I'm going to start going through the answers here, all right? But if you haven't had a chance, just maybe have a guess. See how you go, all right? So here, we're going to write this as 6.2 times 10 to the power of negative. I know it's going to be negative because it's a very, very tiny number. I just need to figure out how many spots this is moving. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's going to be 6.2 times 10 to the power of negative 5. So let's just work it out. I don't think I need to do that. Times 10 to the power of negative 5. Oh, I do love this. Okay, let's go. 4 zeros and 62. Yep, that looks right. Awesome. Going to question B. We're going to get 1.3. We're going to get 1.3 times 10 to the power of negative again. And this time I'm going 1, 2, and 3. So that's going to be negative 3. And let's check the answer again. So we've got 1.3 times 10 to the power of negative 3. And that's giving us 0013. We're looking good so far. And the last one, we're going to get 2.9. times 10 to the power of negative, what do we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 4 spots there. And again, we're going to test it out. So 2.9 times 10 to the power of negative 4. And that's giving us 0.0029. So just like before, in the previous one, we were looking at positive numbers. So you're actually moving to the left. And then when it's negative, you're looking at moving to the right. Now, think about it like this, right? Anytime you have a 10 to the power of a positive number, that means you're going to get like 10, 100, 1,000. And so the numbers are going to get really, really big. But if you have like 10 to the power of negative, then the numbers are going to get really, really small. So think about it like this, like 10 to the power of negative 5, that's like if I say, oh no, wait, hang on. Let's just go 10 to the power of negative 5. That's going to be the same thing as saying 1 over 100,000. So as you can see, that number is going to be really, really tiny, right? But then if you look at 1 times 10 to the power of 5, that's a positive number, so that's going to be quite large. So it's just something to keep in mind. When you're going from like large numbers, you should be getting positive values. And if you're doing really, really tiny numbers, you should get negative powers. So that's just a quick summary for ordinary to standard form, particularly for negative numbers. All right, folks, that is basically it for this video. As always, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to keep up with the latest content. Now, there should be a couple of playlists popping up here and here. Great material for revision, and as always, thank you for watching.